today I am going to look for some dead people. So first stop is Japanology, where I am staying, to Kanda. Yay, and that means the train coming back. A helpful tip for those who don't know, especially in Tokyo, you have these great signs that tell you the best place to get on. So number one, car gate Kanda, and I'm going to switch to the the train filled with advertisement for Rise of Planet So from Kanda, switch to the JR Sen. So from Kanda to Musashi Sakai. From there you switch to the other line and then it's to Tada? I'm almost there. The train's interesting. We'll see. Go to Sekido. It's getting closer. Finally arrived in Tama. So now it's just basically going to where I'm going. Tama's kind of interesting. It's a small station, as you can see. To get from this side of the station to the one exit, you cross the station tracks. Okay, so I am in Tama Cemetery, Tama Cemetery. Tama. Big cemetery in Tama. I'll give some info down there. Okay, I am in 6 right now, so 7's over there. So there are 2 authors I'm looking for in this cemetery. Kikuchi-kan, who was a friend of one of my favorite authors in when I took Japanese literature, I had to do a report on him. And I found him very interesting. But I was back there hanging out with a gang of Soseki and Akutagawa. Probably would have been Kikuchi-kan. Kind of quiet, doing my own thing, but like loving his friends. So visiting him. The other one is Mishima Yukio. So I got a map and it has famous people in it. So I found Kikuchi-kan, no problem. But Mishima isn't on it. And his real name, Hiraoka Kimitake, not on here either. So I asked the guy at the office, it's kind of weird, like, excuse me, where's this grave? Very weird. But he said due to the family, they're not allowed to tell anybody. So to my iPhone I went, and the internet, and found it. Hopefully. We'll see when I actually get there. But this place is huge. Take a look. Huge. Alright. Let's hope I don't get lost. Arigatou gozaimasu. I don't know, it's kind of moving. I'm a fan, so to visit his grave, it's kind of moving as I walk away right now. I think one of the things he's probably most famous for is actually his death. Towards the end of his life, he became almost like a fanatic, I guess. Kind of strong word, but I guess that's kind of what it was, considering I believe he led a group called the Society of the Shield, that their job was to overthrow the government and reinstate the emperor to the power he had, and to bring back Japan to its former military pride that they lost after World War II. So he tried to take over the government, and when he failed, he committed seppuku, the very traditional method of suicide for a samurai. So till the end, he was Nihonji. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. Interesting fact: the year after he passed, his ashes disappeared, and several weeks later, they reappeared buried not far from his actual tomb. So, next stop is Zoshigaya Cemetery. 400 meters. So I am now in the cemetery. This one, so far it doesn't seem as big as the other one. But yeah, I want to go to the main little office. Hopefully they have a map like they had at the other one. Hoping to find him easily, because there's one more place I'd like to go, but who knows? May have to do that tomorrow. Cemeteries are interesting. I don't know why I feel it even more here in Japan, but all these lives of people, and they all have their own stories, and just amazing. Okay, I think I need to go that way. This one should be easy enough because it is smaller. It's still huge, but I somehow find it smaller. So, okay, I gotta double check the map. So just around here somewhere. 도거다요? 아, 됐다. 하지마스. 나츠메. So, Natsume Soseki, one of the most famous, I would say, Japanese authors ever. My favorite book by him was Kokoro. I absolutely love that story. I read Bochan, I read, what else did I read? I read a couple, and I need to read more because he's just amazing. Wow, Soseki. Read Kokoro. If you haven't read Kokoro yet, read it. So, I was walking for Soseki and going to head back to the train station because there's one more place I want to go today. And I ran into an old man who took me to one grave. And then he told me about Manjiro. And so I then went to visit Manjiro. So it's kind of interesting. Manjiro apparently went to America for 10 years, studied a whole bunch about America, and came back to the shogunate, the Tokugawa shogunate, tell him what he learned. And he was kind of the first one to do that. I found that very interesting, and wouldn't even really known about that if he hadn't stopped me, which his group had stopped by Soseki's before. The scenery is getting very familiar as this is my third grave in the last 2 days. Or not graves, cemeteries. Yeah. So I'm going to follow the Yellow Brick Road, the signs, to find the main office. But it's like, this seems feels smaller, and it seems, I don't know, like newer. So maybe it won't take me so long to find him. So apparently, Akutagawa Monosuke is in here. I am laughing already. I got the map for this one. It's not too different from the Soseki one. So again, kind of touristy, but what I found funny was Monosuke. The famous picture and pose of him with his chin like in thought, and that's the one they have cartooned in and whatnot. So he's not actually in this cemetery. He's in the temple just over there, down the road. Akutagawa Monosuke ne. He has to be my absolute favorite Japanese author. For some reason, I just identify with his outlook. That kind of. When I read his stories, I read House Green and not Rashomon, in the Bamboo Grove, which is the inspiration for Rashomon, that everyone knows from Kurosawa. But I read more. I read Kappa, which I absolutely love. Kappa, and I'm trying to track it down in Japanese because I read it with English, translated into English. So he is my absolute favorite. Very interesting to finally be here, standing in his grave. I've been meaning to come the last couple of times I've been in Tokyo, but never made it. Now I'm here.